Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you don't know, this is the Black Eye Podcast, and I'm your host, Michelle. If you're new here, come on in, sit down, and let's talk about why I felt bad about Simone Biles, or for Simone Biles, actually. So, I watched the interview just like everybody else did, and I had my takeaways. I had actually put in a video, did my time in the video, pointed out what I perceived or, what I perceived to be the red flags. And so I put it in the can, so to speak. I just left it. And I decided to go upstairs and have Christmas with my family. End of story. So I'm glad that I waited because I began to think about all of the things, all of the so called red flags that I brought up. And I thought about Simone. Now, I know nobody gives a damn about Jonathan Owens, so I'm going to talk about him anyways. Jonathan Owens has been in the NFL for 6 years. He struggled on the bench. He was in practice squad for 3 years. He was dropped by a team for five times. And this season, 2023, he's a starter for Green Bay Packers. Throughout his career, he made $3 million. That's not a lot for a 6-year career, but it's something. So I watched like I said, I watched the podcast. The podcast is largely about football. These old timers, I've never heard of them. I don't even know if I've seen their faces. Are people, I never heard of them. My husband might know of them. I don't know them. And basically, it's about football. They're having a football conversation. Jonathan Owens, first time starter in the corner on the Green Bay Packers. This is his first season. Signed for $1 million for 1 year. Came on this podcast to talk about his life, to talk about football, to talk about his experience. And somehow, some person brought up the conversation of his wife because, by the way, Simone Biles was in the studio. You know the deal. You've seen it. Um, and so in an effort to include her in the conversation, they wanted to know how Jonathan Owens landed her. And he spoke about it. He spoke about, how they met through a app that none of us could get on because you have to qualify to get on that app. It's for wealthy people, entertainers, that kind of thing. He spoke about how he swiped on her. He said that. I know they're not going to tell you that he said that, but he did say he swiped on her. She messaged him. That, to everyone in the community on these platforms, suggested that she was chasing him. And then they had this little playful banter about how they met. Um, they contacted each other. It was during COVID. They couldn't do much. They met up on Tuesday. She drove to see him because I don't think he could leave. And they met on Friday. And as he would say, the rest is history. So the older men were being messy and dusty and asked Jonathan if he thought he was the catch. To which he replied, I think men are the catch. He thinks he's the catch. Simone is there. She smiles. She figures he's the catch. And so on and so forth. Now I have my my little things about this. And I'm only recapping this to just let you know that I understand the situation. So I'm not here for Jonathan Owens. I'm here for Simone. I'm not caping for him. I'm not here for him. I don't care about his psychopathy, whatever. Y'all are insane. I care about Simone. And so what happened throughout the weekend is I began to watch other content creators to see what they were saying. I'm not going to compete with them on myself, so you know it is what it is. But I was horrified to find that all these people, all these content creators, took a 10-second conversation, a 10-second drop in the conversation, because they were really talking about football. It's football. It's a football podcast. They brought Simone in for ratings, and then they proceeded to like rag on this guy, and he doesn't have experience with interviews and that kind of thing, so he doesn't know how not to rag on them back. He wants to be respectful, blah 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 blah. But let me go back to Simone. What I was saying is that the content creators were the ones who pointed out that Jonathan Owens didn't like her, that he was using her, that she was not attractive, that she was not good enough to be with a man like him, that he had secret ideas and he's going to change on her and he's going to do this and that and the other thing. And I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with you? I felt that I shouldn't put out my video for one reason, that, I shouldn't put out the video because I don't want to tear Simone Biles down. I don't want to get it. She's married. She has a ring on her finger. A ring on her finger without a baby daddy. Okay? So that's point one for me, for him, for her, for her especially. Point two for her, one for him. And secondly, you know, what are you saying about her as a person? I can't imagine going online, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and having a whole bunch of content creators talking about how dumb you are and how delusional you are and how idiotic you are for marrying this narcissist, moronic, psychopathic, narcissistic, weak minded man. No one gave any kind of thinking to the idea, to the facts that they dated since 2020. He proposed to her in 2022. And now they are married. He married her twice, if I remember correctly. Let me see. He married her twice. I think they had two ceremonies. Anyways, she has a ring on her finger. And I thought about how disrespectful all these content creators are to sit here and talk about a man that they only saw 10 seconds of a conversation, clips. They didn't even, I don't know who watched the interview. I don't really give a damn one way or the other. For all of you to come together and say that this woman is an idiot, a moron, a nincompoop, she's not good enough, he's not good enough, she's not phenomenally beautiful. I mean, nobody said that. The interview wasn't even about that. This is a newlywed couple. She's here to support him. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, I don't really care. But y'all came here to really tear her down. And I thought about that when I was doing my own critique. Um, what if she were to look back on this? Is she going to thank you for opening her eyes? Is she going to thank you is she going to come back and contact you and say, "Oh, thank you for doing that 4-hour expose on my husband. I didn't know that he was like this." And maybe they won't break up because I don't wish her any ill will. I am for the woman. I am for women being happy in relationships. I am for women be why can't we just have somebody be happy in a relationship and not analyze it to death? Not everybody wants to hurt us. Yes, men are dangerous. Yes, men are we all have the experience. But why can't we just settle down and let this young woman be happy? God knows marriage is going to be difficult enough. He's an athlete. She's an athlete. He's ambitious. So is she. She has more accomplishments. He's fighting to be accomplished. She's supporting him. What's wrong with that? I mean, it is her choice. This is what feminism is all about. The woman gets to make a choice. She didn't chase him. You're allowed to like somebody on a dating app. You're allowed to express yourself as a grown woman and say, hey, how are you? It's nice to meet you. Men can decide that whether he wants to talk to you or whether he doesn't want to talk to you, whether he wants to swipe on you or whether he doesn't want to swipe on you. Everybody wants to tear down the patriarchy, but they want to hold up the patriarchy at the same time. There are indigenous people in this country whose women made the choices about what kind of man they wanted to marry. They made the choice themselves. And I don't understand why we want to cap on to the Anglo-Saxon idea that we have to wait around demurely for the man to come along. I'm not talking about chasing. I'm just talking about showing an interest, being grown about it. But that's not even the issue. The issue is that Simone Biles is in a marriage. And I can't help but think that maybe the word bitter, the word jealousy, can't help but creep into this thing. Because why would you then turn around and denigrate her? If he's the problem, why denigrate her? Why drag her down? Because that's her husband. If you drag him down, you're dragging her down. So you're not satisfied enough that he is not good enough. You're not satisfied enough that he didn't give her a baby. You're not satisfied enough that he's not hitting on her or beating on her or causing her any kind of pain. She's actually looking kind of happy. So you all have to go and abuse her online. And the funny thing about it is you're all upset because they stopped allowing you and the day whoever it is, YouTube or the people who have the Pivot podcast stopped everybody in their tracks from using the video because all you're doing is shitting on Simone. And the creators of the video decided that they're not going to allow you to use their video to shit on Simone. Because that's what you're doing. You're telling the whole world that this woman is dumb as a bucket of rocks. She's dumb, she's ugly, she's not good enough, she's delusional. She's been with this man for 3 years. Oh, he said he lied when he said he didn't watch gymnastics. He watched gymnastics in 2012. Do the math. This is 2023, soon to be 2024. When he watched gymnastics, Simone Biles wasn't even in the competition. So what are you all suggesting? That he was sitting around waiting for her to come in 2012? She comes around in 2016. He knows who she was. Y'all can't even name anybody in the NFL. Y'all don't even know that he plays in the NFL. Y'all don't know what position he plays in the NFL. But you're going to tell everybody that he ought to know who she is. Y'all don't know athletes. They really don't give a damn. If it's not their sport and what they're doing, they don't care. Remember his question to her: who do you compete against? Because he only understands where he is in his life, not where she is, not who she is. Yes, she's the most decorated person in the world, decorated gymnast, excuse me, in the world. Yes, she is. And maybe, just maybe, that's what she liked about him. That he didn't know who she was. That he didn't try to grab onto her because she is the world class gymnast. Because he talked to her like she was Simone Biles. He talked to her personhood, her who she is. Because she's more than just a world class gymnast, she's a woman. So I wonder what we're doing when we're saying we're helping women and we're exposing all this masculine junk. What are we exposing? And who, excuse me, are we sacrificing in the process? That's all I wanted to say. Because she's not going to come back and say thank you. Y'all already getting copyright strikes. Because you can't use it to hit her over the head with. Excuse me. It's ridiculous. We're supposed to be helping black women. And all we're doing is hurting a black woman by insulting her. Because we want to what? Help people? Hmm. Anyways, that's all I got to say about it. I just had to shoot my load. You know me, I am always the unpopular person. I always try to look at the other side of things. I always try to look at the bigger picture, and I always try to look at the outcome of things. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't even play one on TV. I don't do all that because I understand that people don't live by books alone. They live outside of all that stuff. And the truth of the matter is, we may not know who he is. We may not even expose himself for 20 years. Anyway, I wanted to say that I wish her the best. I wish her happiness in the marriage. I hope that everything that they said about him proves to be untrue. I hope they have egg on their face. I hope they have drool coming out of their lips. I hope and pray that in the end, she is happy, happy as a clam. He's successful with NFL accolades, winning the Super Bowl, all that good stuff. I hope they have the best. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I do hope that they have I wish them the best in their marriage. I do. And I just wanted to say that because I really want to be that lone. I guess I want to be that voice that says this is ridiculous. I don't want to participate in that, and I didn't. So I hope that was worth something to you. Anyways, tell me what you think in the comments. I know y'all have something to say. Oh, Mammy, you're not trained to see all the stuff that's going on. He had red flags. If he didn't, he didn't. And even if he did, whose business is it? She got a ring on her finger. He got a ring on on his finger. He didn't have to marry her. Do you know what kind of psychopathy it would take for a man to date a woman for 2 years, then propose to her after the 2 years, and then marry her? No disrespect to him, but do you think he's that Machiavellian? Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.